This was Penelope's NTHI visit. The men are very satisfied with her family's condition, until they saw her face. Actually, this is a beautiful girl, but because of the curse, her nose turned like that. Just seeing her face, this guy has already run away. The girl did not care, only her mother was impatient. From the moment she was born, her parents lifted her like an egg, inspired her like a flower. That is why when they know that their child has been cursed, they have tried everything to save her. The first is to take her to plastic surgery, but
I'm sorry.
then, to prevent the paparazzi from stalking at home, the mother slapped the reporter so much that she lost one eye. She even lied to everyone that her daughter was dead, also make a fake funeral for her. Then she locked her little princess in the castle. She did not let her husband eat pork, did not let the housekeeper mention the word pig, and of course, she also forbade her to go out. Finally, Penelope grew up. Her mother started scurrying to find her husband. Because her curse is, she will wear this pig's nose until she finds the one who loves her best. Her mother has invited countless rich boys, rich families, but this world takes beauty too seriously. Just by seeing her face, they would. Either way, her mother had to increase her dowry by 2. The next day, a bunch of men were waiting in the hallway for their turn, but Penelope was already fed up with this eye viewing, so she just went straight out. As expected, everyone was running wide open. Her mother was angry, Penelope was angry too.
For 7 years, I've been watching them run.
But they discovered, there is a person who is not running. This person doesn't look like coming here for a look. Penelope became interested in this man, so she rushed out to talk to him, but unexpectedly he was sneaking a book into his shirt. It was indeed the book that Penelope liked best. Talking for a while, Penelope discovered he was here to steal books, so she showed him the most valuable book of her house. After finishing it, it was quick, but somehow, he returned a little. She knew he stole the book, but unexpectedly he would come back. Looking into his eyes, Penelope shook a little. She asked him to come back and he agreed.
We'll be back tomorrow.
I knew it.
The next day, they talked about musical instruments. Penelope hired a summer chorus for the other guy to try out each. After that, they played chess, so their feelings continued to progress. On the third day, he gave Penelope a piano piece. Penelope patiently taught him, even pointing wholeheartedly. This part is too emotional, until the guy turned around. Suppressing his fear, he touched her pig's nose, but about to touch it, he pulled his hand back. Penelope, feeling hurt, ran out of the room. Her mother wanted to advise him, but found out that he was inserted by the paparazzi. He came here to sneak up on ugly pictures of Penelope. Penelope saw her eyes fail again, just because she was ugly. Her father didn't want her to go see her eyes anymore, but her mother disagreed. The two had a big fight. At this moment Penelope heard, she felt that she should not stay in this house anymore. Then she took advantage of that night, leaving home to dust. This is the first time she has been out of the house in 18 years. She looks at the outside world and feels wonderful. She called home so her parents wouldn't worry. As for her, will go, practical experience, alone. Penelope went to a hotel to rent a room. She kept going upstairs when the receptionist called. Turns out she hasn't paid. She handed the front desk her mother's ATM card. The next day, there was news in the newspaper to find Penelope, but posting a picture, drawing her extremely ugly. Penelope was furious, so she took pictures to prove she wasn't that bad. Then send it to the reporter yourself, with a little tip. So right after that, everyone saw her pig's nose in the newspaper. It doesn't matter to her, she's just afraid her parents will see it. As expected, her mother reported to the police, but the information her mother provided was very vague. The father cannot stand it anymore. It looks like a pig. She was about to send the police a little fee to impregnate her father when her mother discovered that her wallet was lost. Following the trail, the police led them to the hotel Penelope was renting. But Penelope she ran to the front of a bar. This is the bar that the other guy once mentioned. Putting away the unpleasant memories, Penelope just entered the bar. She ordered a beer, but because I don't understand the rules, I can't help it. The boss had to give her another beer, and also gave her a straw. Smoking non-stop, Penelope felt how good the beer was. She smoked beer that I thought was smoking milk tea. She also sat chatting with the girl beside her. She heard the other girl talk about going on, but she didn't know what phasing was. That's why she agreed to go on a trial with the other girl. The other girl took her on a tour of the streets in the street. The two quickly became sisters. Penelope is very happy right now. She sends her parents a lot of pictures, but she did not expect the photos to be the clue to help parents find her. Her parents took each photo to find the place in the picture. Just in time to meet Penelope, who was walking, they hurriedly chased. Penelope ran off steam to the bar. Running to her good sister's side, she felt very reassured. But 2 seconds later, she collapsed. To save Penelope, her good sisters took off her veil. This girl is so ugly, her mother is so sad. In order for her to marry, they were willing to give the other party lots of money. But Penelope refused. She wanted to be alone for life. Suddenly one day, she returned to her normal form. Penelope awoke from her coma. She discovered outside were full of reporters. They kept splitting and capturing her face, but she was surprised when no one found her ugly. On the contrary, people are very fond of this pig nose of her. Penelope offered her parents some money to continue hanging out with her good sisters. Unexpectedly, she only answered the interview with one question, "Hi," has been on the cover. She was also responded by the mayor. Penelope became more and more popular. One day playing in the bar, Penelope accidentally reunited with the old eye-viewing guy. Looks like he wants to go back to her. But she turned and walked away, because she didn't want to forgive him. Penelope's mother took her home. There was still one person at home waiting for her. That is the guy who touches the noble, before denying her incessantly. She bluntly declined his proposal, but her mother said,
Look at that face. You could break the curse.
her mother was brainwashed by fame and fortune and forgot what her daughter wanted.
You're just a talking pig to those people. A talking pig.
The nobleman began to propose, but he couldn't even look at her. He proposed to her just because of her rich label. Penelope looked at her pig's nose in the mirror. Then she turned to look at the rich man's hand again. She has no way. At the engagement ceremony, the other guy comes again. It turns out that the person behind him who sent him to sneak a picture of Penelope was this rich man. Now this guy wants to be a good guy, so he wanted to tell Penelope this truth. But the rich said,
It's not me you'll be hurting. It's her.
that's why he gave up. The day of the wedding ceremony has also arrived, but looking at the groom's face is not at all happy.
Mom, I think I'm gonna throw up.
But he still swears. The priest looked at Penelope, everyone waiting for her answer. Suddenly Penelope ran away. Her mother ran after dissuade, but Penelope was very happy. In the end, she accepted herself.
I like myself the way I am.
Suddenly, her curse was gone. Turns out the way to cure the curse is very simple. Just love yourself, because you are the only one who suits you best. Loving yourself is the best love forever.